Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, and amazing Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane. The one, the only master propaganda hero of Psych Defender of the Fatherland, off here to glorious, wondrous 1v1 here on Nexus. And this is Markov fighting with the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Here with the 3rd Panzer Division with Blitzkrieg, Spearhead, and Jäger in the west. It is Orangepest, most orange of pests. Fighting here for the Red Army, the Soviet Union, something distinctly not orange, taking on the role of the 5th Guards Tank Corps here with conscript support, Shock Army, and Urban Defence in a shocking display of no guard motor in sight. Grenadier MD42 versus Domineer Special Rifle Command side here for Orangepest, and as always, a big hearty thanks to my patron supporters. Without them and their valuable support, the Propagandacast would simply, not be able to do its job. So big thanks to all those other people who join the ranks by Patreon and become one of those heroic super beings, or they can donate via PayPal. Either would support the worth and allow the Propagandacast to keep going. So big thanks if you're going to do that. You can also consider pledging pre-ordering Company 3. You're going to do that via the link in the comments and use the code STUG3G, in which case I get a cut of the sale. So that way you can still get Company 3 and I can, get some money. So that's another way of going about it as well. And finally, you can just, comment, like, share, subscribe, help the YouTube algorithms get the video out further. So, Penal Troops out here for Orangepest. Grenadiers here clashing up with them before two as well as the engineers. Quickly popping into the shed there, or large workhouse. Warehouse, whatever you call that, workshop. Penal Troops out there, the Strafbat, equipped with the SV40 semi-automatic rifle. We got the Grenadiers basically with the copper, and they moved a bit off the point, unfortunately. Second one's almost done there for Markov. Bit of clashing up north here. Machine gun, they reposition towards the north here, deciding that this is probably a bigger priority, which I don't blame him for. Don't think he's quite aware, though, exactly what Orangepest is up to with the Penal Trooper start. They are rarer against the Wehrmacht. We'll typically see more focus on conscripts, so this could certainly have a bit of surprise element here for Orangepest, because if we can catch it of some of the individual Grenadiers for the Penal Troopers, the Penal Troopers can very liberally beat the snot out of them. Units quality the info to route it. Pioneers then MD14 hold the north. But quickly, note here, you can position the machine, and of course, is expecting the infantry help happen elsewhere. And he, again, I think so far is not aware that Orangepest has gone for Penal Troopers. So he's obviously aware something is up, but Markov isn't quite sure what is up. 3rd Grenadiers going there for Markov and the German army, the 3rd Panzer Division. Penal Troopers playing out here with their semi-automatic rifles, which are also favourite trophy weapons with the Germans. In particular, the Waffen SS were quite keen on picking up as many as they could to augment their firepower at the early stages of the war. So a little fun fact there. And the SV40 would serve as the basis of the G33, well, specifically the firing mechanism. So another little fun fact there. 3rd Penal Squad here for Orangepest. But again, not really a lot of engagement. Orangepest is playing this very carefully so far. Mine goes off here, killing Friedrich and Heinz, and there you go, rushing straight to the building before them. Oh, they do manage to get in there. Narrowly, slightly running out Orangepest, a little bull run there, a bull rush. We got a 4th gun squad for Markov. 3rd Penal Squad almost done. Really deep flank here from Orangepest up north. He is really playing the long con on this one versus Markov. Really playing the long con. But there you go, he tips his hand actually. He's got Penal Troops now going for the munitions car point. Then is the South corner on the fuel point. Again, got the deep flank here. Got slightly sort of busted there by grabbing the point and getting ticked off, but doesn't appear like Markov realised. There you go. Now we got the Penal Troops from north. The other squad here is drawing their attention, showing the machine gun cannot turn around unless it wishes to risk getting then flanked by the Penal Troops squad up north dealt with, which it's going to be either way though. There you go, quickly on Spurs, going to charging the Penal Troops here. But of course, have to fall back as up close. The Penal Troopers definitely enjoy a significant amount of firepower and a distinct advantage with the Grenadiers and machine continues to reposition here. Markov is very optimistic in the idea and get the machine set up here versus the Penal Troopers to pursue in the south here. Going here for the isolated Grenadier squad here. We can now see Orangepest is just striking all over the place. The machine is setting up here. Penal Troopers could bypass it, and they might. Now, it doesn't have any issue for the satchel charge, but there you go. Machine crew, they're suffering here. Grenadiers routed there, and in a pretty rare display here, Orangepest is actually going for like 4 Penal Trooper squads. That is really rare. Like, most players would typically only go for like 3 of them, because 4 Penal Trooper squads is kind of expensive. But I'm guessing Orangepest just sort of kind of did some math and figured, you know what, it might actually be worth the expense. North there points being seized, southern field seized as well here. That was a interesting strategic choice here from Orangepest already. Now, besides having got motor, we got 4 Penal Troopers. I mean, that is a pretty intense build there. Graham Northern Point here. Actually moving away from it. Perhaps a misclick, perhaps something else going, or perhaps he's already planning ahead here. Setting up little traps there for Markov in the south here. Penal Troopers, the Grenadiers here. Centre being got guns going for the cover point for Orangepest munitions. Now the place yet to commit munitions. There you go. Gunners going for the Penal Troopers here. And again, oh, cancel the mine there. A lot of stuff going on here. Penal Troopers, Grenadiers again up close. The Grenadiers simply lose. The Penal Troopers there. Higher DPS there. Absolutely beat the Kar 98K Wielding Grenadiers. And there you go. The ME4 True secures victory for Markov and the 3rd Panzer Division in North here. South here going for 3 people. We've got the Penal Troopers again. He's trying to, I think, sort of get a bit more juice out of them, if you will, here before they die out. And of course, with the veterans one to the last man, they can definitely really get that going. But a bit more risk is still, again, just the higher DPS of the individual Penal Troopers, even at this low health, means they can still overpower an individual Grenadier squad. So, pretty good work here for Orangepest, but I think he needs to pull them back for some healing. And we do have medics already up there. Tank routine that being rushed out for Orangepest here. Things are about to get a lot more heated up. Neither side yet to commit to troops there. Grenadiers to reinforcing. Armoured car here for Markov. Pretty standard metagame here. So we got, so far, atypical Soviet metagame versus standard Wehrmacht metagame. This will be a very interesting fight for sure. People trying to ignore foots here for Orangepest because it's typically like where things get really interesting. We just get like, you know, maybe typical metagame versus definitely not typical. That's really, you know, where we sort of get some more actual displays of skill and, you know, thinking there. It's, you know, like one player, like, you know, has to like try and, you know, deal with something fairly uncommon while the other player's like having to try and figure it, just, you know, going his own way entirely. So a lot of potential stuff here to happen. Armored car out there for Markov. Will Orangepest suddenly start playing safe, or will there be more surprises here from him? He's saying north to the mine sweepers and flamethrowers. Obviously concerned about the possibility of mines here from Markov. Also, we'll be going for any anti-tank rifles here, or will Orangepest? I think. Oh, Saturn! Oh my goodness! He almost had the armored car there. I think he was betting on the awkward light vehicle path and just catching the armored car there at the wrong spot, but Markov spotted the satchel charge just in time. But that was really ballsy there. I like it. I like it. And if it worked out, there'd been an armored car down with a regular satchel charge. Got the Pumas still flanking the Pioneers here. Quick route here with the HVD-40. We do get the 270 for Orangepest. Probably hit back at the armored car, but also just put more pressure on Markov. No commander yet of Orangepest or for Markov. Pumas with dealing with the armored car, the 222. Like to punch his B-Wagon. Otto there dropping dead. Well, not Otto, but what is there dropping dead? Otto's having a nice time inside the armored car. Quick using the building here to get out of there, and there we go. First commander of the match is Orangepest with Urban Defense, featuring light anti-tank guns, shock troopers, booby traps, and the KV-2. So yeah, that's an interesting pick here as well. And obviously accept clans with that. Teasing light tank out here. For Orangepest. Could also go on for Nation 6, honestly. I guess there are limits to how spicy Orangepest wants to get. Bunker there with a medic upgrade there for Markov. Guessing an armored car next here to... Oh, not armored car, I mean Pack 40 up here with the T-70. He could ostensibly try and go for more armored cars to counter the T-70. With like a heavy penal build like this, there's the possibility that Orangepest could just like equipment with anti-tank rifles, at which point the armored cars will much more quickly go down. So Pack 40 certainly makes a lot of sense here. It makes a lot of sense. So there we go. Panzerabwehr on 40 on the way there for Markov and the German army. Still no command for him. Of course, he doesn't know yet that Orangepest has actually gone for urban defense. So far, Orangepest has shown no sign of that. For example, we've not seen like any light anti-tankers already called in to just put pressure on Markov. Well, just as I say that, we get the light anti-tank gun. M42, 45mm gun, which by the way still serves until the very end of the war. Despite you figured 45mm gun wasn't exactly particularly impactful versus Panther IV's Panthers or Tigers, but it still serves in more defensive formation where they piss it up in the expected tank pass and then fire into the flanks of the tanks, which are typically much weaker than, of course, at closer ranges. So, little fun fact there. Fighting for the southern fuel point here, northern fuel point also claimed by Orangepest. Definitely a bit problematic there for Markov. Definitely wants to make sure he doesn't fall behind in the field race here versus his socialist opponent. North at T7 as the Grenadiers. South Viet Grenadiers moving forwards. Got the Pims was ready there. Walls crumbling, and we got the line to tank and they're creeping forwards. Jürgen now routed. Alongside Otto as the rest are dead. Up north here, T70 almost gets knocked by the Pack 40, but is able to navigate its way there out of a potential death. Meanwhile, no tech yet for Markov or Commander. Grab northern fuel point. Not Southern being seized back there by Orangepest. I mean, Orangepest. Yeah, it is Orangepest. Ah. Line there is a bit thrown off there for a loop. Got the E42 team setting up. He hasn't actually done a lot there for Markov, honestly, in a sense. At least it hasn't gotten a lot of kills. There we go. Boldly enough, Orangepest actually in the T-7040, apparently expecting Markov would just keep the Pack 40 up there, but obviously Markov kind of figured, you know, Orangepest wouldn't drive it up there again. So, some pretty, you know, intense mind games going on as well there with anti-tank setups and whatnot. Another machine in there for Markov, clearly indicated that, again, he's starting to get really rattled by all these penal troopers and realizing having 4 Grenadier squads alone, it's just not going to be able to match them. So, he's bringing in more machine guns that way, trying, you know, keep the, you know, armed convict threat under containment. Armed convict, Ludwig? I thought, didn't think you up against Australians. Ha ha. Jürgen, that joke is too old. Nowadays we use Americans. Ha ha ha. Anyways, armor cars, the penal troopers there. MD42 moving forward to the Markov. And there you go, Orangepest for the mechanized armor company. Fighting for the fuel punch remains overall intensive between Markov and Orangepest, and Orangepest could actually soon rush out a T-34 from 60 against Markov, which is definitely going to be a problem for him. Particularly the way that so far Orangepest, I think, is actually like pretty good at attacking here. Like, he's never just like, you know, getting himself overly fixed in one point. He's constantly looking for flanks, openings, gaps, blind spots, and explodes. There we go, another satchel charge here. Also known as the Leningrad Party favor. Armored coming about there, T-7 moving out. No, it's not. Just, you know, don't want to like where someone like writing in an exam paper something that is called a Leningrad Party favor, then I get blamed. T-7 up in MD42 there. There we go, mechanized armor company of Orangepest. Machine gun finding gains veterans who want, but still hasn't gotten like much going there in terms of killing. We do have tech there now for Orange, or for Markov. Quick rush at a Stu, but more likely going to go for the Panda Phone, particularly since he does have the experience gain bulletin for it. Machine guns number 2 moving in. Anti-tank there being spotted by the armored car on the flank. Reinforcing healing in the south there, Pack 40 Grenadiers moving in. Armored car there reaching Veterancy 2. Far up north there again. Notice his pension there for deeper flanks here, not just taking the most direct path. Obviously, it takes a bit more time, but also, you know, you're more likely to actually, like, you know, hit from an angry opponent isn't ready for it. So, 2 thumbs up to Orangepest. Really a good highlight, just, you know, what a good flanking can do. Particularly on a map that actually allows for flanking. Obviously, not all maps are equally good at allowing this. The 1v1 maps, I'd say, are probably the maps that are on average better at allowing it. 2v2 maps, the exact opposite. Up north there, points being seized here. Got, holy smokes, a shock to the squad on top of 4 penal squads. That is a 5 squad build here for Orangepest, which is kind of surprising rare for the search nowadays, but not only that, just 4 penal troopers and a shock to the squad is a highly unusual Soviet infantry composition. It's definitely not your average Soviet metagame there. Panther 4 there for Markov. Again, a note here. Penal squad going for the deeper flank. Again, he's making great use of the train here to make it hard. In this case, he does get spotted. But again, tactically, he's doing the right thing, though. And again, we could theoretically like flank there with the other penal squad because the machine gun is now pointing far away from the front line. Panther 4 that's halfway done. No T-Fitter for Orangepest yet, or issue 5. Armored car moves into block, but again, machine gun forced to position anyways. There we go, satchel charge! Oh! Oh no! You almost got the armored car too, but it somehow survived. I imagine the crew is having an awful time. Is everyone alright? I think I swallowed my teeth. Hack also wiped here. And now we got the teeth moving in for the coup de grace. Heavily damaged Orangepest doesn't care. He goes for it. This has turned incredibly sour for Markov as just Orangepest flexes his tactical muscles. Panther 4, they're rushing straight out of the pack forward here. Another light entertaining for Orangepest as Markov's Panzerkampfwagen dives in deep for Deutschland. And we've got another satchel charge. He's just not bothering with entertaining self-charge. I'm guessing Orangepest's motto is, any satchel charge can be an anti-tank satchel charge if you got the balls. And if it isn't, it probably should be. Anyways, double entertaining here. The lighter kind does halt here. Markov's Panther 4 push, but he has at least been able to deny the Panther 4 there to Orangepest and the Red Army. Grabbing the southern point here with the shock trooper squad there. And he's right here with the Panther 4. Added the pinlock machine to that. Very good. I'm starting to think Orangepest might be stalling for the KV2, which is definitely not what I'd advise, but I kind of feel like, though, he's kind of earned it with these kind of flanked satchel charges and this build-up and infantry composition. I feel like he kind of earned it. I'll let it slide, but I generally would not recommend this to the average player, but I think Orangepest has earned it. Panther 4 to try and murder the shock troops. There you go, having pretty good work at that, but there you go, pack wiped again by the shock troops, and as soon as the pack falls, Orangepest dives in the front line now. Gunnies on the flank trying to hold them up here, trying to prevent a complete collapse of the center here. Need to grab out the southern fuel point, but at least he's grabbing the northern fuel point here. And there you go. Orangepest is going to destroy that pack. There we go. Try to southly charge them towards the flying way. No, they're still going to do it. Rifle grenades off here. No. Managed to pin them down. Like, less than a second before the satchel charge got chucked out of his hand. Talk about close. Whew. Just in like 17 minutes of this match, we're seeing a lot more than like the average match. It's fantastic. Any reinforcing here? Ling. We'll have to go for next. Maybe an Ostwind. Could go for Blitzkrieg for a command tank. Go Spearhead for a mortar half tank. You're going to finish some other stuff. I'm guessing that's going to be Spearhead or Blitzkrieg at this point. It could still be Jaeger infantry, but honestly, it kind of feels like it's going to be one of these two either instead. See something fixed up here. She can busy up the north. Might want to pop it into some cover there. I feel like goes perhaps again trying to keep an eye down the flanks, perhaps. I don't know. Southern point, then we see but the Pin Troopers there. Panther 4 need repairs. Enforcement healing there going on. I'm guessing the reason we're not seeing much from Markov here is he's probably trying to figure out what the hell is going on here. Even briefly they consider the Ostwind, I guess. But again, I'm suspecting just Markov just isn't entirely sure as to what Orangepest is up to here. He's going for the T-70. No, that's another self-charge. Wiping one of Markov's Grenadier escorts entirely. T-70 getting Panther faster. Mine's down here for Orangepest. Northern machine remains statically die again. Another Grenadier escort. He's lost 2 Grenadier escorts tonight. The losses are rapidly piling up here for Markov and the German army. Still no commander. Still no greater plan here. Even as Orangepest continues his rather swaggering march there towards the KV2. Then he says the penal troopers there, flanking them before setting up here as well. Rough date there, forces them out of cover. Front line is definitely looking a bit messy here for Markov up north. Their machines set up there to cover the flank here. There we go, catch the penals with the try to go in there. In this case, Markov is able to actually outwit Orangepest at least for once, somewhat. Panther 4 sending out there. We do get Blitzkrieg here for Markov. We do get it out. No command tank. Guess he's just going to go for another Panther 4 under the current circumstances, which honestly makes sense. Gonna need that Panther 4 up north here. That T7 is going to rip it apart here. The south here. MD4 was the advancing gears there. Got 484s to 1. The Orangepest is definitely in one area, though, and definitely a bit of a tighter spot. That is victory pawns wise. But in other ways, he's definitely giving Markov a hell of a time. Teams of the round, they're Grenadiers. Going for tier 4. Under current circumstances, I definitely describe that as, you know, fairly risky. And unlike, I think, Orangepest, I don't think Markov's kind of earned this one under current circumstances. I mean, there's the K2 theoretically. The Panther could be useful, I guess, but, like, so could, like, just going for more armor and some Stooks, I think, honestly. Line things, they're just punching away at that Panther for doing a fair amount of damage there. Apart from Northern Point, they ceased in victory there, but they're Grenadiers. Got the second or fourth tier done. Can also go for some more Pioneers here. Probably help with repair tanks, but also allow the one Pioneers which remain in the front line and to have the other one built, the Heavy Panzer Corps. Orangepest, meanwhile, is getting very close to that KV2 manpower's base, you know, a bit aggressively bleeding, but at the same time, not as much as you'd figure because, again, tactically, he's playing his infantry very smartly. He's not going for meat grinder tactics. He's not just throwing his men there into every German machine gun he can find. Rather, again, he's using his infantry to, you know, fight decisively, engage in the fight smartly, that way doing damage, but, you know, not suffering, like, insane manpower bleeding as his opponent. That way, you know, despite having so much infantry of, again, high caliber and quality, it's not like, you know, in a massive manpower bleed spiral. There's also, I think, a good lesson there. Center there, Panther was the punitive squad there. Octopus routed. Grenadiers and Engineers. Center, we got the Punitive holding up here. Panther 4 there. 11 kills, half HV2. We got the anti-tank fleet crap forward here to try and catch the Panther 4 and deliver some more delirious damage to the frontal armor. Orangepest, meanwhile, is very close to that KV2 there. And we got a Sturmpanzer for Markov. Interesting pick, though, again, with all the infantry anti-tank guns, does make sense, but something tells me he's going to cancel it once he sees the KV2. If he sees it in time, of course. Because that Sturmpanzer is definitely going to fall short against the KV2, though technically they kind of fight the same caliber gun. And we go, another South Charge for Orangepest. Red King Markov's Pack 40, meaning, again, if that Sturmpanzer gets out before he sees the KV2, he's going to be in some really, really deep shizer. But there you go. He's seen the KV2. Air Consul, there you go. He cancels the Sturmpanzer. Goes for the Panther, because, trust me, going for the Sturmpanzer against that would have been utterly suicidal. So there we go. KV2 there from Orangepest, bombarding, shattering sheds, and German morale alike. People's flanking in there. Again, just Orangepest keeps up incredible footwork there. In the south, we got the Strafbad heading for the Sun Victory Point. Their machinery position to deal with that. Panther 4 setting out here. 11 kills, half H52. Panthers halfway there. It does also have munitions here for Stuka close airstrikes, so on the right circumstances, he could do a good chance of getting out the KV2. And there you go. Bit of a flub here. We got the anti-tank strafing run going in here. Also note the way he's angled. He's actually made it harder here for him to just get safely out of there. This is really smart actually done by Markov, because most players just center it on where the tank is currently, meaning he can very quickly get out. But he actually centered it further towards the west, meaning in theory if he tries to escape, it's going to have to like cross through a lot more Luftwaffe territory. In this case though, there's just one flaw, which is he can't keep up line of sight with it, so it does get away nonetheless without really getting exposed here to the Luftwaffe. But otherwise though, Markov did it the very right way there. He did it like how most players should do it, but never do. 2 thumbs up to Markov on that one. He does alter the Panther now out here. The Panzerkampfwagen 5. Fangen wir an the advancing Strafbad. Adding the pintle-mounted MD42. And again, another satchel charge there. Or as Orangepest clearly calls them, anti-tank satchel charge. But Commander, you can't just call everything an anti-tank satchel charge again. And if you try to say it against me again, I will have you shot. Oh. Reinforcing healing there. Panther setting out there, adding the pintle-mounted MD42. Going straight here for the Pim Troopers there as well. Engaging with both tanks head on, forcing retreat here. Also got a machine gun there, seized here from Orangepest. Panther 4 they're gaining, Vetchi 2 and the Schutzen are added. Very nice addition there. Panther Scots machine race well, going for the building here in the south. I don't think Orangepest is going to retreat that machine gun because that would pretty much mean he'd just be handing the machine gun over back here to Markov. So instead, he's very much willing to let the crew die a heroic death for the motherland. When are we getting our retreaters? Don't worry, you will all be remembered as heroes. Oh, that's just like my 18th birthday. Panther 14 getting the T-center, good shot. They're right for the front llama. Light tank, they're firing at the Panther. Shot bounces off the front llama. Hunia begun his support flanking the light tank, and here Orangepest position is a bit awkward. We do also find I have anti-tank rifles up here to help make things a bit harder for Markov's panzers. At this point, going for a command tank, I don't think it'd be a bad idea to make his tanks tougher versus both the anti-tank rifles, the anti-tank guns, and the KV-2. But the command tank would also help deal with the infantry and the support weapons better, allowing the Panther and the Panther 4 to then focus on the KV-2. Hell, it could use the command tanks, you know, mark target to help take down the KV-2 faster. So I actually think it's a mistake here for Markov to go for the Panzerwerfer. I actually think he should be going for the command tank here. Meanwhile, troops reinforcing and healing here. Orangepest moving forwards. Panther 4 about to flank in against the Pim Troopers there. Very good. Quick retreat here. Orangepest not about to find out how accurate that Panther 4 gunner is. That's it. 97 points left here for Orangepest versus Markov's 463 again. In most other ways, Orangepest is doing quite well, but the victory points wise is it's starting to look like a massive Achilles heel. Smoke grenade off there, very nice. Panzerwerfer there out for Markov. Again, it's going to help us with the light to tank into some of the infantry, but crucially, it's not going to help a lot against that KV-2. And also, of course, if the Panzerwerfer barrage whiffs, it's not going to be doing much there at all for some time. And we go KV-2 engaging here, machine gun there, getting bombarded. Need to retreat that soon. In fact, now. Going for the Panther here, and yeah, just the good old anti-tank satchel charge, Orangepest style. Oh dear, that's a mistake. I don't know what happened there, but that machine just got wiped for unknown reasons there. No idea what happened there, but I'm fairly certain there was some kind of, like, you know, issue there. I don't know what happened there. Oh, well, machine destroyed. Panther taking some damage here. Pins the flank, they're routed, but now you can see that Markov's got us back against the wall here. As Orangepest and the Red Army is just delivering tons of damage here now to Markov. It's going for a flank, but again, note, unlike, you know, Orangepest flanks, Markov's flanks are much more shallow, they lack depth. KV-2 firing at the gun of the EC. Panther moving forwards. Good shot on the KV-2. Down to half health here. Close veterans 1. Panther getting bombarded here with the line to tank guns. Panther 4 gets a great shot. The advancing Pim Troopers, but the shock troops, though, are undeterred in the face of all this German firepower. They will not yield to the Reich. Shock troops keep pushing forward here for the Third Union, trying to gut down as many Germans as they can before they have themselves forced back. And there you go. The Panther Force finally starting to take a toll here on the advancing shock troopers. Orangepest flying up the Nation 5 tank destroyer up north here. Pioneers routed. The Panther have got one kill with its barrage. Again, not really getting where he wants with it, I imagine. And once more, I feel like a command tank there would have been a much better pick here for Markov rather than a Panzerwerfer. KV-2 that we've seen immediate repairs here from Orangepest engineers. So on the side, we can see there's some PMs going for the southern victory point. Also got booby traps up north here from Orangepest. Thumbs up to that as well. Panther Veterans 1, 4 kills, receiving repairs from all the Pioneers. Panther Force also need repairs, the Panzerwerfer does not. Also got plenty of mines up north, obviously considering himself with the potential push up north. Seeming like accounting for some flank pass here. Not here because I think he's sort of aware, or he's not considering himself, but I also would not be entirely surprised at this point if he's just also aware that Markov just isn't that deep of a flanker, so he doesn't need to mine up there because Markov would never ever do that. More mines here, mines in the centre. Sensible there by Orangepest, but it's basically taking advantage of the fact that Markov is basically not doing a lot, it's just licking his wounds. And Orangepest is looking now to make it difficult for Markov to get back on the field. So 2 thumbs up to Orangepest. Going into the Pumas receiver, we got the Panther moving forward here. 4 kills, Veterans you want. Second Panther Force almost done here. We also have another Stuka close air support ability ready here. Lots and lots of mines left from Orangepest up north, around the centre as well. Pioneers of the mines with a light machine gun. There we go, Gun East almost wiped out by the KV2, a devastating hit against Markov's men and their morale. And the south again, deep flank here from Orangepest. 2 thumbs up. Go catch again, Markov a bit off guard. In this case, at least he does took on his squad. In this case, Orangepest just hightails out of there. No, so that's going to be a waste of manpower otherwise. Sharp tactical decision making there. More Gunneries for Markov. Finally, it's time to replace some of those losses further. Markov's position is definitely looking a bit rough, to put it gently. I mean, he does have a massive victory point lead, but in most other ways, Orangepest is pretty much holding all the cards and has written anti-tank shuttle charge across a lot of them for whatever reasons. Let's move out here with the KV2. Troops sitting out there. Panther holding back. $383 versus 97. Markov's no different time to be up, but again, he's really just lost initiative, and he just, I think, isn't entirely aware how he's going to try and break out of this. It's not Orangepest, he's just holding most of the cards. He's holding all the good terrain. And tactically, again, just Markov is much more insistent on attacking head-on, whereas again, Orangepest, is much more keen on maneuvers. So Markov is really at a disadvantage here, not just in terms of force composition, but also just tactically and strategically. He's just not in a great spot here as Orangepest. Might take some time for Orangepest and some sacrifice to get there, but he's definitely, I think, holding most, if not all, of the cards now. At this point, I think Markov's going to try and rely on a massive breakthrough push here, using air reconnaissance, these 2 close air support, and then combine with tanks and infantry to somehow overcome Orangepest. But the question is, can he actually do that? Or are the other guns now being ripped apart here? The Panther Force aren't even blitzing. I'm concerned about threats here, but again, as we're going to see, he needs to make a swift push, but instead it ends up being a much more staggered assault, which Orangepest can just mostly dodge out of, and possibly exploit by counterattacking. And there we go, Guns quality with the KV2 and the Pumas was there, almost wiped out. 1 entering until they got wiped out, Guns clothing wiped out. We got 337 versus 97 here. Shock was flying up behind here again. Counterattacking Markov's assault by attacking up behind it, catching exposed units off guard there. Air support here raining down death and Orangepest forces. Shock was almost wiped out here. But the confusion is real, and there you go. Pumas was there again. Even deeper flank against the Panzerwerfer. And we get again the Orangepest anti-tank satchel charge. Blowing up the Panzerwerfer because Markov's attention is on the front line. Imagine losing your Panzerwerfer to a satchel charge of all things. That is a very, very, rare honor or dishonor, depending on perspective. Panther Racing Force of 82, KV2, HD5, they're firing away here. HD5 knocked out here. Panther 4 kaput. Panther's about to get knocked as well. We got the other Panther moving forwards here. Line tank being rushed on here again, attacking from the flank. Panther's about to get knocked out. Shot bounces. Got the KV2 though. He's trying to get away with the Panther. The antagonist, they're funneling him into this massive minefield in the east. He has no idea what he's sending his tanks into. And there you go, Panther knocked out by a mine. He's going for an Ostwin now instead of the command tank. Don't know why. And there you go, Panzerforce about to hit the vine. But to get a wipe in the Grenadiers, and with that Orangepest, I think has safely completely just eaten Markov down into the ground. I mean, this has just been an absolute masterclass in maneuver, flanking, and, you know, just not being stuck down by labels like anti-tank special charge. So there you go, GG game over. Markov surrenders, Orangepest stands victorious. Hell of a fight here. And absolutely guaranteed to go into the Hall of History, because I think this just really just highlights Campaigneers at some of its best there with the way Orangepest played, but also just highlights the power of flanking, maneuver, and again, just really driven attacks. So wonderful stuff here. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, you know, like, subscribe, share all that. And you'd like to do, consider donating or pledging on Patreon. Support the Propagandacast. I'd like to keep doing what I do. This is Imperial Lynching. Cheers, and see you all tomorrow for a nice one episode. Bye.